I'm saying this, Garlic Jr., because I do understand what it's like. Wasn't that long ago I was exactly like you. Hey guys, DB right here, and today I am continuing with What If Turles Turned Good Part 3. Continuing exactly where we left off. The previous part, which was right at the end of the Namek saga, and I do recommend you guys check out the previous video to catch up if you haven't if you haven't seen the series, watch part 1 and part 2 first. Anyway, so we're going to get along. After a hard battle against Frieza, with the help of both unlikely Saiyan allies, Vegeta and Turles, everyone was brought back to Earth relatively scot-free. In fact, Goku didn't even need to transcend into Super Saiyan to beat Frieza. And well, why was that? Well, it's in the previous video, but I'll quickly repeat it here. Thanks to Turles and the spare fruit from the Tree of Might he had, it meant there was a lot more energy going into the Spirit Bomb, enough that ultimately took out Frieza before he could power up to really counteract it. So with that, moving right along. And well, since then, it's been basically a year, and Turles has decided to self-isolate himself, basically traveling the world, really taking a good look at his new home on Earth, and essentially just having a good long think about who he is, what he wants to do, and just having a really good look at himself. From the evil Saiyan who wanted to conquer the universe to who he has become now. And well, at this point, Turles has no intention on replanting the Tree of Might and using it again. He does have a couple of seedlings left. So he could quite possibly easily replant another Tree of Might, but at this point, he's not really interested in doing that. He's actually more interested in getting stronger in his own way, actually doing the work properly. Seeing how much stronger, specifically Goku, or as he would call him, Kakarot, and his son Gohan had become since their fight on Earth during the events of the Tree of Might movie. And well, like I said, it's been about a year, and well, a certain other Dragon Ball Z movie villain has now begun to rear his ugly head, and that is Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. has returned with the Spice Boys, and they have begun their attack on the lookout and essentially take it over, trapping Kami and Mr. Popo like Garlic Jr. does in the original, and is unleashed the Blackwater Mist in order to turn the planet evil, basically. Humanity giving into their evil and darker impulses. Vegeta right now is off-world, sulking and trying to work out how to transform into a Super Saiyan, and which, interestingly enough, no one has actually hit the Super Saiyan barrier in this timeline yet. However, it may happen later on in this installment. And well, as for Turles, like I said, he's pretty much on his own, living in isolation, at least until he met this woman in his travels, a woman he's sort of taking a liking to. So he's got a bit of a traveling companion, and well, she's quite formidable herself. Like she's not like a Z warrior who can fly around, shoot key blasts or anything like that, but she's quite good at surviving on her own. And since Turles is experienced with planting the Tree of Might, this means that becoming a botanist, a traveling botanist, was actually the perfect sort of job Turles could do, and this is an interest he actually shares with this girl he met, who essentially does pretty much the same thing. She's quite self-sufficient, capable of surviving and taking care of herself, and she does know a few basic martial art moves that can keep her safe, from hungry animals and dinosaurs and things. So she definitely has that sort of strong stuff about her that Saiyans, are ultimately attracted to. I don't have a name for this character yet, nor a design, so if anyone is free, wants to suggest a name suggestion for Turles' Girlfriend, as well as a design, you can tweet that on my Twitter, which the link to all my social media is in the channel. So feel free to do that if you're bored. If not, I'm sure I can come up with a design. I'll put it in the thumbnail for the next video. Anyways, but no distracting. Anyways, thanks to the sort of Turles getting used to sensing energy and things like that, he was able to ultimately avoid the Blackwater Mist, so he hasn't been infected. His girlfriend was, however, and well, dark day at their homestead. A pretty dark day at their homestead. So this initially forces Turles to return to the Dragon Team and help out with this situation, and basically, help put a stop to Garlic Jr. and his plans. And meanwhile, everyone else that got infected gets infected like the original, so Roshi, Bulma, Yamcha, Krillin and Gohan managing to dodge it, having their first... Oh yeah, Goku's with them as well. Goku sneaking off with Gohan and Krillin. Chi-Chi was not happy about that. Chi-Chi insisted that they stay back, help her out around the house, Gohan do his studying on all that. But, as we know, Goku and Gohan both have habits of sneaking away from Chi-Chi from time to time. And well, just luckily they're all in there and they're all essentially able to avoid getting hit with the Blackwater Mist. However, they're stuck with the predicament of having to fight their friends, including Chi-Chi, as we know, tracks them down. And with Goku there, the early fighting with the Spice Boys goes very differently. And you got Piccolo there as well. Essentially, the Spice Boys do not make it through the initial battle. Just with Goku being there, it was just too much for him. After all, Goku's power level is strong enough to pull off the Super Saiyan transformation. He just hasn't felt that loss and anger yet to do it. And as we know, he could battle with Final Form Frieza, at least until he starts using 20% to 45% of his power. That's when Goku was starting to lose that battle. So I don't really see how the Spice Boys would really stand much a chance. I think Garlic Jr. should have just stayed in his hole where he belonged. And, well, they did manage to beat the Spice Boys. However, Piccolo was still unfortunate enough to be drained, or turned, so to speak. Just basically, him dropping his guard, and the infected members of the Dragon Team and Bulma were able to sink their teeth into him. Of course, as we know, Piccolo's immune to the thing. However, Garlic Jr. is not silly. He was watching on to what's going on, and this was a perfect plan and idea for Piccolo to get close to Jr. and free Kami. So Piccolo's still thinking along those lines. And, well, then, with our with Krillin, Gohan, and Goku making their way to the sanctuary, Kami's lookout, and dropping off sticking Marin with Korin and Yajirobe. We pretty much get the whole, basically Garlic Jr. face to face with Krillin, Goku, and Gohan. Ah yes, revenge is going to be sweet. Have a good look at your last look at your friends there, Kami. They do not stand a chance. And this is where Piccolo turns up, Garlic Jr. thinking that Piccolo is more or less on his side, and much like Piccolo does in the original, he does proceed to attack Krillin and Gohan. Krillin, Goku, and Gohan. And Gohan not really catching on what's going on with the plan here, but Goku could pretty much tell Piccolo's holding back and pulling his punches. This was all just an elaborate performance to convince Garlic Jr. that Piccolo is on his side. So Goku is playing along, while Krillin and Gohan haven't really caught on. And well, pretty much with that, Piccolo pretends to bite Goku and Krillin and does fill him in with what's actually happening, and Gohan's pretty much being left to fight on his own, and this is pretty much where Turles turns up, and what's this? Goku has himself a twin? Ha! Don't even go there. Suggesting that I'm related to this buffoon even for a second? What? Turles, that's not very nice. I thought we were getting along. Ha! Please, Kakarot. The only reason I'm even here is that this jerk has made it personal. Well, as long as you're here to help. And basically, Goku's big mouth pretty much lets slip that the whole thing with Piccolo was a whole ruse. However, it was still too late for Garlic Jr. to really do anything about it, because Piccolo was basically right next to him and managed to grab hold of the bottles and free Popo and Kami anyway. And just like in the original, Kami and Popo are heading deep into the lookout in order to find the counter water that they need to counter the backwater mist, which I forget the name of that water. Anyways, with Garlic Jr. now not too happy with what's going on, and the planet being aligned with the Makio star, Garlic Jr. now transforms into his final form, and this is where things more or less get really hard for our heroes, because after all, Garlic Jr. is pretty strong in his own right. However, it's not hard to see that Garlic Jr. is pretty much in the losing side of this, and well, Turles is pretty much just baffled by the fact how Garlic Jr. is still standing. I don't get it, Kakarot. We hit this guy with everything we've got, and he's standing brushing it off like it's nothing. Yeah, I hate to tell you this, Turles, but this guy's immortal. Many years ago, he came to our planet and used the DragonBalls to make himself immortal. The only reason we defeated him is that he fell into the very trap he laid for us, the Dead Zone. The Dead Zone? Huh. So in the end, Garlic Jr. turns out to be a coward. What? A coward? How dare you? What would you know about it? I know everything about it. Not that long ago, Garlic Jr., I was just like you. I was willing to take every shortcut imaginable if it meant that control of the universe would belong to me. However, I have recently learnt what real power is. Huh? Real power? Well, if that's the case, let's see if your real power is a match for mine. Garlic Jr. powering up and unleashing the Dead Zone, much like he does in the original story. And of course, Piccolo is starting to fade in and out, with Kami being punished by the former Guardians. And well, it really was beginning not to really look good for our heroes. However, with Kami being ultimately successful and does throw the other stuff in and gets rid of the effects of the Blackwater Mist, and well, Turles just angered by Garlic Jr.'s cowardice and just his sheer stubbornness, and of course, not to mention that the very anger that looking at Garlic Jr. for Turles was like looking into a mirror about who he used to be. And that actually angered Turles enough that it was Super Saiyan time for him. Yes, Turles is the first Super Saiyan in this reality, and with one nasty blast, he's able to destroy the Makio Star and, well, essentially weakening Garlic Jr.'s power quite a bit, and pretty much smacking Garlic Jr. around a bit, then finally throwing him into the Dead Zone. Once again, Goku and Gohan are baffled by this power-up. Just Turles standing there, his Saiyan armor, and, well, the transformation didn't really last very long. He just sort of powered down quickly from there. And just that level of power, pushing Turles to new heights, it has motivated Goku and Gohan to more or less do the same thing. And, well, lucky Vegeta ain't there right now to know what's going on. And, well, with that, there's a whole victory meal at Capsule Corp to celebrate the defeating of Garlic Jr. Chi-Chi, of course, forgives her son, and Goku for basically running out on her, and going to their little get-together. And of course, Krillin breaks up with Marin. That whole thing happens. And well, it's just a huge feast at Capsule Corp, and well, this is where Turles basically comes back and decides to make himself a permanent part of the Dragon team. After all, they were a help in stopping Garlic Jr. Turles didn't do all the work, after all. And, you know, they were quite friendly to him. And, it was an opportunity for Turles to bring his new girlfriend around and introduce her to everybody. So, pretty much, there you have it. Where this will go from here? Well, we'll find out as we head into the Android Saga next time. And this is where we're going to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this What If? How do we feel about this change with Turles? Did you like how I've created a love interest for him, whose name we still do not know, nor do I have a design in mind? I'm thinking like an Earth version of Fasha, basically. That's what's forming in my head right now. A human version of Fasha with no Saiyan tail, but basically the same sort of look. So I think I'll yeah, get to work on that. That's the idea that's sort of popping in my head right now. And I can spend some time to think of a name for the next part. And, well, yeah, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more what ifs and, of course, my comic updates when I release comics and things. Keep your eye out for the Agent I Halloween comic special, and I'll see you guys next time for the next what if. See you later.